So usually when we are asked to factorize a polynomial, they give us one of the factors. So we use the given factor, do a long division, find the remaining factors, and that's how you factorize a polynomial. Now, what if they don't give us an initial factor to start with? What do we do? So we have to use a trial and error to try and figure out what one of the factors of f of x might be. So in order to try it out, we use the constant here, 6. And you can write down what some possible factors of 6 could be. So it could be plus or minus 1, could be plus or minus 2, could be plus or minus 3, or it could be plus or minus 6. So we test out some of these, put them into the function f, and if we get a remainder of 0, that means that value is root, and we can then figure out the factor. So I'm going to show you. Let's say we think that x equal to minus 1 is a factor or a root. Okay, so f of minus 1 would give me minus 1 cubed minus 6 into minus 1 squared plus 11 into minus 1 minus 6. If I simplify that out, I get minus 1 minus 6 minus 11 and minus 6. This is definitely not equal to 0. Therefore, x plus 1 is not a factor. Remember, if I took x equal to minus 1 as the root, then x plus 1 is the factor. And here clearly x plus 1 is not a factor because the remainder is not 0. Okay, now I'm going to pretend that the factor might be x minus 1. So I'm going to put in the value x is equal to 1. F of 1 is 1 cubed minus 6 1 squared plus 11 into 1 minus 6. If I simplify that, I get 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus 6. That gives me 12 minus 12, which is 0. Therefore, x minus 1 is a factor because it gave me a remainder of 0. So once I have a factor, then I can do a long division and figure out the remaining factor or factors. So x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. I'm dividing it by the one factor that we found, which was x minus 1. X into x squared gives me x cubed and minus x squared minus plus cancel, and I get minus 5x squared plus 11x. X has to multiply into minus 5x to give me minus 5x squared and plus 5x. Change the signs. 11 minus 5 is 6x minus 6. X goes 6 times, so plus 6. 6x minus 6 minus plus, everything cancels, remainder is 0. This is the quotient and it's also the remaining factor. So now we can write p of x in terms of its factors as x minus 1 into x squared minus 5x minus 6. Now you'll notice here that x squared minus 5x minus 6 is a quadratic factor. So if you put it into your quadratic function on your calculator, you'll end up with x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 2. Now those are the roots. If you want to write them as factors, they will be x minus 3 and x minus 2. And the first factor was x minus 1. And that is p of x fully factorized.